Hi guys, listen, stop training knife defense. Absolutely useless. I've got a clip to show you. You're going to be really interested in this clip. This consists of 6 YouTube and professional martial art instructors all having a go at trying to stop somebody stabbing them. So have a look at the clip. We'll come back and we'll talk about it in a second.
The next challenge were explained. Each participant will enter a padded room where they will be joined by a single attacker carrying a marker representing a knife. The contender will then have to defend against the knife attacker for 20 seconds, 4 times in a row, each time with a new and fresh attacker. And running away will not be an option, as the space will represent a locked room where escaping is impossible. The contenders will receive points after each attempt, and if at the end of 20 seconds they will remain unscathed, they will receive 3 points each time. If there will be wounds that are not fatal, 2 points will be received. If the wounds will be deadly, 0 points will be given. And every time a contender will get wounded, a wound mark will appear on the screen. And now it is time to begin the challenge, starting with Ramsey Dewey.
I wasn't feeling good. When you're not feeling good physically, it puts a huge damper over how you're feeling every other way. I go in there feeling like, screw this, I don't even care. I don't train for a knife, and they're gonna go all Jordan Chow sewing machine style. I'm gonna get lit up here, and it's gonna suck.
20 seconds starts now. And time. Ready, set, go.
I held the hand that the knife was in, thinking, all I need to do is hold you here for a couple of seconds. I don't even need to hit you. And then I feel this little on the other side. What are you doing? Oh, the marker's on the other side. You changed hands.
Hands on.
I'm gonna get lit up here and it's gonna suck. Self-fulfilling prophecy, that's exactly what happened.
How was it?
Terrible.
Terrible?
Worst thing, I've hated every moment.
It did not go as you planned?
It went exactly the way I thought it would.
It's incredibly frustrating when somebody's doing something against your will and you can do nothing about it. In retrospect, instead of focusing on the knife, if I had just followed any combat sports strategy, for MMA, for boxing, for kickboxing, for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I would have been stabbed, but I would have been stabbed less.
Although Ramsey Dewey was unsuccessful, there was still chance for the other 5 contenders, following with Sensei Seth.
20 seconds starts now.
While Seth did a great job, unfortunately his multiple stab wounds were assessed as fatal, leaving him with 0 points and 3 more rounds to go.
Ready, set, go!
Did have a lot of success with grabbing a body, trying to pin that arm to the body, and just run it until that person hit a wall.
While Sensei Seth yet again did a great job at fighting his opponent, he suffered multiple stabs to his heart and other vital areas, leaving him with another 0.
Guy who punched me so dang hard. We're cool, but I'm gonna look at you like this for a while.
Go.
I hit a hip toss on him, and I land a crucifix somehow. I've never practiced a crucifix. I kind of barely know what a crucifix looks like because of some old UFC fight. All of a sudden, his arms were between my arms and legs. Oh, well, let me just sit back. And I sit back, and he can't move at all. What is this magic?
Hands on.
Although Sensei Seth landed a great hip toss and a crucifix, he got stabbed multiple times in vital areas, leaving him with 1 more 0.
Where's that crucifix? Interesting.
See, that's the funny thing. I'm not saying it's not deliberate. A lot of the times you've got to take what's given. You can't force something.
When we stab somebody, I like the demeanor.
I landed a beautiful side kick, launched old buddy across the room, then I run up and try and headbutt him.
Hands on.
Despite doing a great job at all 4 rounds, Sensei Seth experienced fatal wounds each time and did not earn any points for this challenge.
Not easy.
No, it's not.
You could also factor into that trophies on concrete.
Hey man, I'm hearing positive things.
Are you? They just stabbed me a bunch. I rested my ass off. Still not.
Your t-shirt though, compared to Ramsey's, looks great.
That's surprising.
Folds in your stomach, but Ramsey had way more.
I thought I was kind of gonna do better in Shark Tank, to be honest.
And Jeff Jan was preparing to go next.
I thought Sensei Seth did better. so I'm like, okay, he's my competitor here. I thought I could do the same strategy as I did in the circle, but this time, after taking them down, they were scrambling way too much. Took them down, and they were able to pass it and stab, pass it, stab, and couldn't do anything.
Go.
I got a teep to the face into a takedown. Again, if I'm gonna lose, at least something entertaining.
Hands on.
Yet again, while Jeff did an amazing job, he didn't survive any of the rounds.
I hate it when you look tired.
Well, check how much my back. I got stabbed on the back. Look up, look up.
After it, I was pretty upset with myself. I should have tried to, while standing, two-hand the knife and just pin it. I should have done that.
So far, half of the contenders failed to get even a single point, but the other half still had a chance to change the situation, starting with Icy Mike and his extensive training in knife defense.
Last year, I did about 70 hours of coursework in knife defense with some of the best knife defense instructors in America. know he stabbed me to death, but I think I took him with me. Started dropping the old ground and pound GSP knees, but to the dome, and I was trying to crush that guy's skull. I mean, not really. I wasn't really trying to crush, but in my mind, I was crushing that guy's skull.
Time!
Despite all the effort, Icy Mike also receives 0 points for this challenge.
After that third one, when I was like last one, I was like, I knew my legs they're literally jello. My lack of mass. Talking about how you sidekick the guy across the room. Like, I could never. I know how to throw the same kick. I sidekicked many a dude.
What's crazy to me is that no matter how well it felt like you were doing,
You're still getting stabbed.
You were still probably getting stabbed.
There was one I felt real good about. He probably did get me. That's the thing about this. You don't know. And even when it's real, you don't know. People that get stabbed report it feels like getting punched.
We could put anyone in the world in that situation and they're going to have the same results as you, probably less, to be honest. Those guys that run all those knife workshops that you've attended, they're going to end up the same way. Any of those courses, do they take it to that level?
If you do, it's usually one time. And it's another participant, but not a guy who's like, this is what I do.
You may be wondering why we are asking the contenders to fight a knife attacker in a closed room, since when speaking about self-defense, most people say that you should simply run away. Unfortunately, running away isn't always an option, as you may be with your wife or child, or you may get trapped in a closed area. At the same time, while many people claim that they could defeat a knife attacker, the reality is that it is not a simple task at all, as it is clearly evident in our challenge, as none of the 4 contenders so far were able to receive any points at all, and only 2 were left to try to make a difference.
Shank tank. I was nervous about that.
I see the guys coming out of the shank tank and they're exhausted. They're just spent. And I'm thinking, man, this is gonna be hard.
And Matt was the next one to put things on the line.
I figured I'm in a bit of a recessive mindset. I need to switch that to become the predator, and I just started swearing at Aaron. And that helped me transition into being a bit more aggressive and just focusing on finishing the job.
Even though Matt was close to surviving, his wounds proved to be fatal and he did not get any points for the first round. Despite a great show of heart, like the rest of the competitors, Matt did not get any points. And then it was my turn to have the final attempt.
Ready, set, go.
Oh, there's potentially a kill technique in there. Should I do it or should I not? But I realized if I'm gonna do it, probably he's gonna switch hands.
Even though I got only 3 wounds, the judges assessed that they were fatal and I received 0 points.
4 rounds, everyone comes out exhausted, so I'm thinking I'll try to defend myself as best as I can, but if I see I'm dying, I'm gonna conserve my energy for the next round.
Time!
They placed an object in the middle. Oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna use my Aikido evasive skills. I'm gonna use that object. And the guy comes in, I'm using the object against him, and he kicks it out of the way. And I'm like, what was the purpose of that thing? He just kicked it out of the way.
Time!
Grabbed him, tackled him. I find myself sitting there on top of him, hitting him in a pretty good position, and I'm like, I'm not gonna move from here. He's touching my helmet here. I'm like, this is not as bad as it could be. I let go of George, and in a slow motion fashion, he moves towards my neck and slashes it.
I'm not giving up.
Despite my attacker slashing my throat once I let go after the bell, I soon learned that the judges were discussing whether I survived this round.
Show them your face. This was done during, that was done after. That's a face lift.
But it's not a fatal.
The other 3, no question, dead. This one, that's in question. You guys have a discussion.
And after having a discussion, the judges decided that I received 2 points. And although it was a mix of skill and luck, I was still exhilarated to score points for this challenge.
Okay, so you can see that did not go as well as planned. So one thing to take away from that clip is if you train it and pressure test it correctly, you'll find out there's tons of information. 1, knife defense courses, especially 3 or 4 day courses where you're doing, you know, a couple of hours a day, completely useless, completely waste of time. In any given situation, that sort of scenario is going to play out differently. The one guy kept swapping the knife over into different hands and still managed to do it. Most, and I would say all, knife training courses are a complete waste of time. The only way to survive a knife attack is get the fuck out of there. The only way to stop a knife from coming at you or getting to you is to put a barrier in the way. That barrier is what's going to save your bacon. A chair, a table, a door, a wall. That kind of barrier. If you've got no other choice but to defend yourself, totally try and grab hold of that arm and control that arm. Snap the thing off. I would literally try and snap that off. Then if he's stabbing you, you have literally got seconds. Barrier is what you need. Put a barrier in between you and that knife. Whether it be a chair, a table, throwing things at him, door, wall, different building. Those are the barriers I would recommend. There's absolutely no way I would take on a guy and try and do some of these techniques. So, as you can see, stop training knife.